You think I need glasses? Hello, raccoon puppy. Welcome. Welcome. I know it's a bit of a different contrast of how I normally handle my content today, but hopefully the audio is balanced well. And today is going to be a much calmer day, a much quieter day. Unfortunately, that did mean I have to disable a lot of Tangia, unfortunately, but you should still be able to change my cosmetic appearance for today. Among other things. Sorry, I'm changing some things up. There we go. Hello. Give me a moment. I'm fighting my UI here real quick. Tie the ASMR a little bit. Gourdie broke the dimensions just for today, yes. Hello, Arxa, welcome. Hello, Gromky, sorry. Old habits die hard. ASMR's dangerous stuff. Well, I figured for those of you who are most likely going to be going to bed soon anyways, this will be good. Maybe. Hello, Cow on the Run. Been a while. Hello, EP. Hello, Dash. I don't know if I said that already. I'm sorry. I'm just looking up the list. Hello, Kesar. Hello. Hello, Meme Wizard. And, like I said before, I hope my volume is not too imbalanced. I know I was trying to test it before and it was proving to be a bit complicated. It's fun to confuse people. Yeah. Unfortunately, I did have to suck a lot of the fun out of the redeems for today. I'm sorry. I wanted today to be a calmer day. But I do have a topic changer redeem for today. For those who just want me to yap about stuff. I'm sorry. I wanted today to be a more relaxing and calming day. No throwing stuff. Not today, sorry. You'll have plenty of time to do that tomorrow. Dang, we can't bully. No, not today. You'll have plenty of time to do that tomorrow. Hello, Neon Goddess, welcome. We're doing a bit of a quieter stream today. It's a bit of a different dynamic anyways. Well, for me the weather is complete. Yeah. Well. Hold on, let me get a little bit closer here. Just because I think I'm not close enough. Maybe. Maybe something like that. It's into my dinner. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing for today, besides just yapping a little bit. But I did owe you guys an ASMR stream for the subathon, so that's kind of today. I have a feeling there's not going to be a lot of interest, though, so I will be not doing this for very long. Yeah, it's a great time to just relax and be sleepy. There's gonna be a stormy day. I wish it was today. Yeah, it is a bit hot and humid. The humidity never goes away here. Never really seems to, anyways. It always feels like I'm swimming in the air sometimes. But yeah, let me get a little bit of something to drink first so that I'm not sorry, I'm a little not dehydrated on you guys. That was probably not really a sip, but I was trying to do a sip, but I was worried it was gonna spill all over. Oh well. But today's well, it's a quieter day anyways. For certain. In any case, I don't know what else you are looking forward to as far as like sub goals, promises that I haven't completed yet. I know many of the IRL ones are gonna be the promises that I owe will be taking a little time, and I apologize. They require a special setup that's not available to me right now. But everything else, the anime reaction, or the anime tier list anyways, anime character tier list, that will be, I think, hopefully soon. I still need to speak with Odin on when he's available. But otherwise, in any case, the topic redeem is mostly just for for getting me to talk about different things anyways. It could just be me giving you advice or telling you about a weird experience I had. Terms to be subjective anyways. I wouldn't want to talk about anything too personal. Or it could just even be talking about, as I said, like nerdisms. Things that are worth nerding out about, I guess you could say. Basic things. I probably did just set the price a little too high. I didn't know what to set it to last minute. I meant to set it up last night and I didn't. It was already late for me when I went to bed. And now we are here in the moonlight of the garden. And so I wonder how many of you are well, I shouldn't ask. That's not appropriate. No, we try not to disturb the lurkers here. Like the scenery, indeed. It is a calming scenery. I cannot say I am a fan of the night swallows. But sometimes you just kind of have to deal with what you've got. And hopefully things will be more to your liking tomorrow. I apologize if today is a bit more boring. I know you guys come to me for more chaotic streams, but well, maybe next time. Maybe next time when I ask for a goal list, you guys will actually contribute something that you want to see, instead of having me fill up the gaps. Because clearly I'm not a good decision maker. What am I gonna yap about? Well, that all depends, doesn't it? I do have a channel redeem set up for Topic changing. I'm just kinda, for the most part, yapping a little bit. Although I do need to make a mild adjustment. I think the price is too high for starters. Bring the price down. And the timer so that I'm not getting spammed with it. Knowing you guys. There we go. For me, it's just different. You've seen our memes, and we ain't the best with filling some holes either. Maybe. I thought about opening up in a specific way, but then it seems like people aren't as available today as I thought, so I decided against it. But I would prefer to just not have this be a sexual stream, so to speak. I just wanted it to be a more calming one. If you're stressed out, you can just relax. That's all I can really offer right now. And for the most part, I'm just not really going to speak on much at the moment. It's just gonna be kind of going off of whatever you guys want me to talk about, but the channel redeem helps with making it a little easier to work with is all. In any case. The garden has been growing well, at least, though. I've been meaning to get out there and finish the weeding. It's getting a little hectic. I did most of it yesterday, but I need to finish. It requires me to have special equipment. I do not know why that's doing that. Hang on. Why did that make such a noise? What in the world? It's so weird. Why did it do that? Maybe I should turn that off for now too. Sorry. I guess I turned things on out of habit. Sorry about that. That's what your favorite gameplays you had. Are you referring to games that I've played while live? Were you going to play the Elder Scrolls at some point? I remember something like that. I had started, I had kind of toyed around with Daggerfall a little bit. And I went over to Oblivion before the new version of it came out. But not only did the new version end up being so heavy to run on my system, it just kind of threw a wrench into everything else that I was doing at the time. And right now I'm just trying to focus on getting the sub goals done so that I don't have to worry about that. There are also plenty of reactions still on my list that I need to tend to as well at some point. A couple of them are VIP reactions, so they need to get done. Once I have the time anyways. One moment. Sorry about that. But yes, as for favorite gameplays, I think it's fair to say that much of my streaming up until this point was consumed by Dave the Diver. A very long game, but a very satisfying in its own way, but also frustrating in others. A beautiful game, though. Hello, Antares, welcome. It's a bit of a different stream today, sorry. I know it's not really what people were hoping for, but This is a sub-goal promise that I owed to the Sprouts, so this is what we're doing today. At least for a couple of hours, anyways. I suppose it depends on how popular this becomes as time goes on for the stream today. But yeah, there was Dave the Diver that I played on stream for a while. I feel like I spent almost a year finishing it. I see the teaser, I don't mind this kind of stream really. That's good, that's good. Normally this is not my kind of stream, and I don't really see myself being a dedicated ASMR. I'm just simply too loud and chaotic of an individual. But today we're just doing a bit of a calmer stream today. I know Wukong has been kind of shelved on and off over time too, unfortunately. It seems like whenever there's an update on that game though, it gets larger by several gigabytes every time, and it's a little concerning. How many solo goals are there left to be done? I actually have to check the list. I have a checklist that I've been etching out. Not including today. We still have the pyrography stream, IRL candle making, and the cooking streams, all of which require a bit of an IRL setup that I don't have available to me right now. Those just need a little bit more time before I can do those. I'm still in progress working on trying to finish Half-Life 1. And I know the Rage game, I Am Bread, that I started. I do not know if I will be able to finish it, but I plan to give it an honest attempt tomorrow if I finish Half-Life early tomorrow. I know the anime character tier list is mostly prepared. I just need to speak with Odin on a couple details. Buying and playing a mid to bad AAA game. That's work in progress. Mostly just waiting on the Sprouts to decide on something. It seems like I actually misjudged some of the Ubisoft games. I thought they would be difficult to run on my system because of their launcher, but it seems like they actually did comply with the launcher. So or with the launcher mandate that Steam had pushed, sorry. So they don't have a launcher anymore. So Ubisoft games might actually be, bad Ubisoft games might be on the table again, if anyone wishes to suggest them, but I will also need to see if they are compatible with the Steam Deck too. That's kind of the deciding factor in many cases. I don't play on a Steam Deck, but anything that usually is compatible on a Steam Deck is compatible on my system. And I guess after that it's just the karaoke stream, which I'm nowhere near ready to do right now, unfortunately. That requires me to do a bit of practice on my own. Not quite ready for that. I just think start a poll with those. In time. I maybe not right now, but soon. I've just tried Mega Break. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks interesting. I don't think I can try it though. Unfortunately, a lot of newer games. A lot of newer games have an anti-cheat that is not compatible with my system. Or rather, my system does not appreciate that it has an invasive anti-cheat and doesn't allow it to work. It's hard to describe, but the anti-cheats want more than my system is set up to offer, so I could set it up to offer more, I just don't think it's a good idea. Laptop could run it. Oh, it's not about, this has nothing to do with processing. It's the anti-cheat specifically. Usually tends to only work on Windows in many cases. It'd be cool if there would be rhythm game before. I do have a couple of rhythm games anyways, I think. I know I have access to OSU, which is not a game I'm good at. But I also have, what is it called? Night of the Crypt of the Necrodancer. I have that one. It is disco, a fighting rhythm game. Interesting. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I'm fighting a bit of a sinuses. I apologize. New box enemies on beat. Interesting. Hello, Lyric. Welcome. Welcome. Sorry, we're just doing some quiet yappings, I guess you could say today, for lack of anything else. Actually, there was a game that I was eyeing from the Steam. What is it? The Steam sales. That was a rhythm game, and it won't cooperate. Hang on. It's doing that thing where Steam's UI will only work on one screen and not the other. Yes, it was a game called Everhood. That looks like a rhythm game. I'm not very sure about it other than that it's... a very chaotic rhythm game. Also, hello Sadney, welcome. You hunt deer? That's good for you. I'm not 100% a deer. I never heard about Neverhood. Everhood. There is no N at the start. Sorry, my sinuses make it difficult to speak. I only really found out about it because of Penguin Zero, Charlie. Because it's one of his favorite games that he remembers from a long time ago. And I don't know, I'm not really big into the rhythm games. I've never really been great at them. I don't mind playing them once in a while, but it is, unfortunately, very much a skill issue with them. Audio Surf? God, I have not heard that game in a long time. It's, I feel like many of the songs that I have would be very much a high skill cap. I don't think I would, Hello Waffy, welcome. I don't think I'd be very good at them. Which neuron is active, I wonder? I don't know what I'm setting off because I'm just sitting here speaking calmly about a variety of different things. That's kind of the plan today. The neuron. Oh my gosh. It's not really the intention today, unfortunately. Oops, sorry. You would download any game you would like, even the known songs, but they're 8-bit covers to avoid copyright claims. Well, so far, most copyrighted issues that I deal with, at least on the Twitch side, is just results in the VOD being muted. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, like I said before, I'm fighting a bit of a sinus issue. Trying to not make that be known on the mic anyways. I don't think turning it into an 8-bit version of it would really change anything, to be honest. A lot of copyright systems use AI for pattern detection, and they're quite good at what they do, unfortunately. But it's just kind of how it is. Sorry, I would think that I had to turn my fan off to make sure it was quiet enough for today, but for some reason it feels like it's circulating certain smells, and I was having a moment to understand what the heck I was smelling. And I don't think the neighbors have been loud enough to be heard on the microphone, thankfully. They've been quite loud today. It is my favorite game. That's a good question, honestly. I would need to think about that. Because I have quite a few that I would consider my favorite. Let me see here. I've got a list. I would argue that probably Skyrim brings back good memories and nostalgia, really. I'm trying to think what else. Hollow Island is a game that's pretty calming too, honestly. It's unfortunately a game I've had trouble finishing because it's so calming it puts me to sleep, but it is what it is. And obviously you have classics like Undertale and Saints Row 2. Oops, sorry. Shows that Freddie is truly caring about games. Then true favorites are constantly in flux. I have a whole list of games that I do like. I should also finish Deltarune at some point. I don't have a promise for that one, but that is one that I know people have been wanting me to go do. And it's becoming a chore to dodge Deltarune spoilers. So, at some point I should probably go back to that. I'm hoping maybe once Half-Life is done I can start going back to normal gaming. And like I said before, I will give I Am Bread one last honest attempt, but I do believe that is a game that I have a genuine skill issue in. So I do not believe I will be able to do much with it. But we'll see. We'll see. Good writing and translation is important. It is. It is. Unfortunately, the Western world has been plagued with translators who want to push narratives that are disrupting the writing process as they go about it. It's a bit unfortunate, but that's what we're dealing with. Although it seems like they are losing to AI, which is also unfortunate, but unfortunately, they weren't willing to change course, and the people have spoken. They do not want to be dealing with people who insist on specific mindsets, so AI will unfortunately dominate in that field. Eventually. At the moment, that doesn't... It's not a complete loss yet. It seems like a lot of fan dub translators, sorry, are actually being hired by big companies to do what AI is still struggling with. there is at least that. But for how long, I don't know. It seems companies are unfortunately all too eager to throw away humanity to save a few dollars. But I think that's fine, because I think, as I've said many times, the world is honestly in the hands of independents and those who are willing to work hard. Even if we are working on our own, we work in tandem with each other in a way. We all provide our own thing to the table. And we don't need to be a massive corporation, I think, to get that done. If anything, I think it's been proven that far smaller groups of people can handle a lot at once and don't need to be held back by bureaucracy or anything. So, as long as there is caring independent community gaming won't decay, indeed. And hopefully they stand strong for if or when indie games come under fire. But I believe indies are strong enough to stand on their own, no matter what. But they do need help getting highlighted in many cases, so I hope to eventually be part of that process of highlighting games that aren't being seen very much. But that's taking time to get myself into such a mindset where I can do something like that. I had planned on doing stuff, videos specifically, where I was reviewing indie games I've played that aren't very well known. I don't know how much influence I have over such a thing, given that I've essentially left my YouTube with next to nothing to work with lately, but that'll change soon, hopefully. Hopefully. I know I've been really quiet over there. I think I just needed time away from the monotony of doing reactions all the time. It's clear I'm not very good at reactions. I seem to upset people a lot. Because I sometimes forget things I said, and then I contradict myself, so I don't know. Or maybe people just don't understand what I'm saying half the time. Gaming used to be considered something only for nerds. And the games were made by gamers, but then the corporates saw how much money they could make from it. Yeah. And some of them did a good job making great games too, but they allowed their lust for money, I guess, get in the way, and that caused a lot of problems. Unfortunately. But we'll see. Perhaps it's just childish foolery. I don't know how to describe it. A childish hope that things will get better, and the bumpiness ahead is much closer than it was before. But once we get past the bumpiness, it'll be fine. Although we don't know how bumpy it will get, so we have to support each other. Childish naivety, maybe. Maybe I just don't want to worry about such things all the time. I think a lot of people don't. I added that topic changer, redeem for nothing, I think. Oh well. Worst enemy you've seen or heard? That's a good question. I haven't really seen any real bad anime, to be honest. And I'm excluding shows that consider themselves anime but are of Western origin. They really have not made anything I would consider bad, in my opinion. But maybe some things are just not in my interest, in my wheelhouse. Hello, Night, welcome. We're just doing a little bit of yapping today, just keeping things calm. Perhaps a bit of a content for lurkers anyways. For people who just want to relax and go to sleep. I know many people in my community are actually from Europe, so for them it's late. I actually can't think of a bad one. But maybe I could think of one I like the least, potentially. Because calling an anime a bad, it feels subjective. Because I feel like a lot of them are all well done. I think the one I ended up liking the least, in my humble opinion, was actually Shield Hero. I could not get past episode 1. There were certain elements of it that hit too close to home, so I backed out. But that's not really a reflection on the anime itself, that's just a reflection on my own mind, I guess. More than anything. I don't really recall ever seeing anything like that, to be honest. I am a little fussy with which anime I watch. I don't watch everything and anything. So I can't really give you a bad anime, so to speak. That's fine. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay for something to upset you that strongly. It's you know, you don't always know what you're gonna get sometimes. And that was kind of how it was for me and the Shield Hero. I got to through part of episode 1 and just could not continue. It was just a bit too close to home for me at the time. And to some degree it probably still is, but maybe less so these days. Even the eager one used to be strong. It's alright. It's alright. We just gotta... We're slowly get through season 1 on JoJo's. We'll get there. I'll have to schedule time. Hi, Keiran, welcome. Yes, the Bean Boozled You Laugh You Lose did not go well, unfortunately. I hit a bean that was so foul it made me sick twice. But... I was supposed to nuke Rumkey? What? Nuke him with what? What do you mean? But yeah, it's yeah, sorry Keiran, today's a bit more of a quieter stream. I owed you guys an ASMR stream and this is what we've got today. I apologize if it's not quite to people's liking, but I figure after a couple of hours of this we'll see how engaged people still are or not. And if people are too tired, we'll either go back to our scheduled gaming or something. We'll see. I wouldn't worry too much about it, Rumkey. I guess I wasn't specific when I said I didn't want spoilers, because I thought that also implied no hints or trivia that would give away stuff that I wasn't aware of. I wanted my experience to be blind is all, but I think it's just gonna be safer to go emo-only mode, unfortunately. It's probably just for a good idea, because you don't want random people showing up to intentionally spoil stuff anyways. I know other VTubers do this as well when they react to big stuff, so don't take it personally. I just don't want my experience to be tainted is all. In any case though. Character of all time. Indeed. Indeed. let me get another drink, just because I don't want to wear my throat out here real quick. Sorry, I try not to be a little too loud here. Sorry. What I was without the community you built? What do you mean? I guess I'm not really sure what you mean. I mean, like, you are all important. I think I feel the same way, honestly. I have at least a sense of purpose streaming like this. I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't streaming. I know I have my problems and my annoyances that I annoy people with, but I hope I get to continue streaming, even if I'm not very good at it. Love you, pumpkin deer. I'm doing my best. I'm trying new things, different things, and I feel like, and I know a lot of people showed up who followed me for my reaction content, but that was, I think, an experiment that I feel like went on for way too long, and I'm realizing I'm just not cut out for it. I think I am better off investing my energy into trying to create something. But I can't start doing that till I get all of my other stuff done first, so hopefully I can get some stuff done. 1 second. Sorry, still fighting some sinuses. I watch sometimes on Twitch. I know I haven't done reactions lately. I still have a whole list of things that were recommended before that I haven't gotten rid of the list. And a couple of them are VIP recommendations. I need to get back to that to finish that at least. But unfortunately reactions are only available to those who are subscribed to me, and that's just mostly because there may be stuff I want to react to in the future, and there may be things that how do I want to describe it? I'm trying to think. I feel like having the public reactions was taking so much time and energy out of me as I grow larger as a VTuber, I guess, and a content creator. It was becoming overwhelming to constantly deal with so many public requests. And unfortunately, paywalling their requests is really the only way I can go about continuing to do reactions while not overwhelming myself. The videos themselves will likely be free. Hello, Shiro. Welcome. Thank you for the follow. Hello. Hello. I'm sorry, we're doing a bit of a quieter stream today. Subathon first. Yes, I'm trying to get the promises done. And like I said, there may be some promises that might take a little bit just because I don't have the setup right now. Right now, the primary holdup for the pyrography and the candle making is that I need a table in the garage free, but currently it has a dead motor on it that Odin accidentally destroyed. I'm still waiting on him to clean that up and find a home for it at least. And then once that's cleaned up, I can potentially do something with that. Hopefully the Wi-Fi holds, though. It won't be able to do... I won't be able to bring a landline out there. Oh, nice flower. One person, hello, hello, Shira, welcome. I don't normally do ASMR content, so you might find it jarring if you show up tomorrow for stream. But today I owed a ASMR stream as part of one of my sub goal promises from my subathon a bit ago. So this is what we're doing today. Where we just kind of quietly talk about things. That's work in progress. Yes, you do need to do something with that, Odin, please. There are other things I gotta do first. Before then anyways, so you've got time. I'm here always in the ASMR category. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be lingering in this category beyond today. It's normally not my thing. I'm usually a great deal more chaotic and hyperactive. But today we're doing calmer stuff. eBay. That is true. I guess you've got to sort out the parts, don't you? Especially a smart stream just for us, indeed. This is what was earned. I know many people have also been excited about the potential of a karaoke stream, but I have to get some songs together and practice first. I feel like I'm very much out of practice in singing in general, and there's a lot of things I consider myself low confidence on, but I feel like singing is definitely one of the ones at the bottom of the list where I have no confidence in. So I just need to practice first to have a little more confidence in myself. No problem, sometimes we need to slow down. Indeed. Indeed. Especially because the weekend is going to be chaotic for my fellow Americans. There was an interesting problem, actually, with 4th of July fireworks. Apparently there was a shortage on gunpowder, actually. Or more specifically, just fireworks, the good ones. They were affected by the tariffs. Not enough was produced in time. The smaller ones and the older ones are still around in abundance, but the good ones are hard to get right now. Hi Dash, welcome back. Born in the USA, America. Indeed. Screaming is a-okay too for me. I try not to do too much screaming. I've scared my audience more than a couple times with that. That doesn't sound gloating, but isn't that ironic? A little bit, yeah. A little bit. We do need to be making our own fireworks, I think. Shortage of a small noisy firework. Oh, okay. Okay, specific ones, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I feel like each country needs to start making more of their own to regain independence from the marketplace that has been established for a while now. Unfortunately, it's proven that it's unstable. We need to have a bit more financial independence, I think. Trade independence, I guess you could say. Because right now it feels like it all goes through maybe a handful of countries. And it causes problems when something goes wrong. So we need to mitigate that by just I think every country needs to start working on their own trade and resources. I think we'll get there. It's just taking time. These things always take time. But I know I still have that update video to do as well. I've got to edit that out still with the garden update. I hope I don't have to retake it soon, but I need to review it and see how bad the footage is. But There's a lot of growth in the garden. We just got some new wires for the peas so that they stop flopping over because they kept trying to climb up but didn't have anything to climb up to. So hopefully they'll grow straight. We already have a pea pod on one of them as well. They're already starting to produce. Born in the USA was actually an objection to the Vietnam War. Maybe I'm missing context, but I don't understand what that phrase has to do with the Vietnam War, but... Many pea pods? Oh, are there more? I guess I couldn't see them because they were folded over. I know the squashes have become huge, and the pumpkins are already trying to creep along the ground, and a couple of them were trying to grow up instead of out. I had to coerce them to let go of their tendrils and be ground creepers again. I also have to be careful that they don't choke other plants out before they're done. I may have to remove some of the pumpkins because they're getting too big and too abundant. And this is something I was worried about when I planted them. I hope it doesn't continue to be a problem, but we'll see. But I'm thinking there'll be some peas ready soon to pick. That will be nice. I don't know how long until the potatoes are done. They've gotten huge as well. I don't know about the carrots too, but they look like they're getting large as well. It could be a bit for them still though. And the tomatoes will also take time. They're only now starting to flower. I don't know how much longer on the onions either, honestly, or the garlic. But they all look like they're doing well. Although the garlic leaves are not looking too good. I'm not sure what's wrong with them. It could just be that I planted them too late and they don't like the soil they're in. Which is understandable. It's, I'm looking at all the pumpkins and the squash and the cucumbers though, and I'm thinking that I may have to rest the field next year. There won't be a garden next year because I have to let it rest. It's been... the vine plants tend to take a lot of nutrients out of the soil, and it hardens it. So giving it a year to soften a bit would probably be best for it, I think. No self-resistance, some stuff would be good, but due to poor management. Clover time? Yeah, I guess I probably do need to get some more clover seed in there, don't I? It's probably a good idea. The new dirt is not growing a lot of clover, so it'd probably be a good idea to throw some down before winter. You think if you would cultivate jelly beans, you would grow stinkies? No, I'm not making jelly beans, sorry. I would like to get some of the fancy, good tasting flavors from Jelly Belly to offset the bad ones I had, but I don't really know where to get them locally. I either need to shop at a chocolate shop near me, or I need to go online and find a bag. It seems like stuff like that doesn't sell outside of Easter, it feels like. Jelly beans. Oh. Yeah, true. I don't know what types of beans can be grown in my region, though. We'll see. I was just saying earlier, Arxa, it's been recorded, but I need to edit it still. I hope I don't have to retake it, but there is a lot of progress to be had, and I still need to weed some of the garden. I got most of it, but not all of it. I still need to get around the onions. But hopefully that'll be done soon. I know I gotta do the JoJo's updates, or the reactions as well, and get them on Patreon too. We'll see. We'll see. It's just taking time. I'm sorry. And it doesn't help that buying a game or two for myself from the Steam sale has created an extra distraction that makes it difficult for me to get to sleep sometimes. Is a wide variety of growth habits. Yeah. I don't know if we would eat a lot of those beans is the problem. We would almost need a dehydrator to properly store them, I think. What is fun so far? What do you mean, Grumkey? The air fryer can do that? Maybe. Oh, JoJo's? It's been fun. Strangely enough, I seem to like the New York version of JoJo more than I did the British one, which is a weird thing to say, but it's hard to not be amused by the shenanigans, anyways. But we'll see how that goes. Sorry. I try to get to sleep in time, but sometimes my body doesn't want to sleep. Yes, please don't spoil anything for me. I don't want to go in... I want to go into the series blind a bit. I don't know if I will do much more beyond the first season, I'm going to be honest, though. It's not that I don't think the series is good, but I only promised that I would do about 24 episodes. And, it's a 26 episode season, so I'll just do the season. If I do more, it will probably be at a later time. Just because there are other things I need to do first. And the others will be behind a paywall, unfortunately, because I feel like I'm already risking potentially getting myself in trouble having the reactions available for free on the Patreon as it is. But I owe you guys at least the first season free, so... Love the pocket Tommy gun. That is true. He did have a surprise Tommy gun that came out of nowhere, seemingly. I didn't know he'd once started with the part 3. That's because the website I tried to watch it on before didn't really specify which part to watch first. And so I went to the first one on the list, which was part 3, I guess. It was not intentional, but that's just kind of where I was led, and I backed out because I didn't know what was happening. A long time ago. It was quite a few years ago. The website still exists, but I don't want to... I don't necessarily want to use it. I'd rather use more well-known websites, if that makes sense. Just so I'm not getting myself in trouble more than anything. I have no idea. I have no idea. I didn't watch it much. I don't believe it was an OVA. It was a regular episode. But like I said, I was so confused going into it. I had no idea what was happening. It was very extra. It was very extra. You know, looking around the garden at the moment, the fireflies here remind me of the ones that I see often in the other parts of the garden, where it looks like you're watching a little light show going on. Lots of little flashes. It's unfortunately it's getting harder to see the fireflies with all the developments that happen. But hopefully they'll still find a way to hang around. Sun is setting for me now. The vibe of ASMR is there. True. True. And apparently me yawning is probably not helping anybody stay awake right now. But sorry. But in any case, like I said, I'm hoping the volume has been good lately. I don't have a banjo right now. I don't have a banjo. That's not really something that would be classified as ASMR. That would just be music. And I don't know how to play instruments like that. Even the nights are sunny here for now. Interesting. Yeah, again, I apologize that I took a lot of the interactive options away for today. It's just I didn't want too many weird distractions, I guess, when I'm trying to be calming, I guess. Of course, I also had my expectations too high. I guess I expected more people to be here today. I guess I should have known better. Oh well, I'm sorry. I always get too full of myself, don't I? But don't be sorry we suggested it. I actually don't know if it was suggested or if I just threw it on the list myself. I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I don't remember. I may have just thrown it in just to fill in spots, because it was an option that was further down on the list. It may have been part 2 of the list. I think it was something I threw in last minute because I needed, because I did not expect to blow through my entire sub goal list in one day. I was not expecting that. Never said that. We dropped it because we wanted to. See, I was going to open up with that, but then there weren't a lot of people here, so I didn't do that, unfortunately. I probably should do it, but I don't know. I feel like I needed more confidence before I did that, and I didn't have a lot. I apologize. You're missing it. Maybe. I guess most people just prefer the chaotic energy I had instead of this. I think the only forcing I'm doing of myself today is just making sure I'm still talking a little bit here and there. I just don't really... This is my first ASMR, so I don't really know if I'm even doing a good job right now. I might be too loud, I don't know. The volume could be all sorts of everywhere right now. Like, I have music running in the background, but I don't even know if anyone can hear that right now. But, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, hello dog, thank you for following, I appreciate it. I'm sorry, I think I had my Spotify in the way, I didn't see the follow right away. Thank you, I appreciate it. Like Luke smacking, not too silent. Yeah, I'm not, I looked at a few different examples of ASMR. I didn't like the whispers. The whispers, annoy me a little bit. And so do a lot of the more obnoxious sounds. But, I figured a quieter, since I tend to be a lot louder normally, just a quieter version of me was good enough. And I feel calm, I guess that's what ASMR is for, so you're doing a good job. I guess that's true, that's true. Yeah, normally I'm a lot louder and a lot more chaotic, but today, not today. Not today. And I can't wait to go back through all of my settings. Turn everything back on too. Oh my gosh, it was a lot of having to go through every setting to make sure everything was nice and quiet for today. Hang on one second. Sorry, I'm still fighting a bit of a sinus issue. It's not going very well for me right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying not to move the mic around too much too. Sorry about that. But I figured, since normally I don't stream at night, this would be a good time to do a bit of night streaming. Although, I don't know if I'll use this background often, unfortunately, but maybe for late night streams I could save these settings on. Little opinions of every Gen 1 Pokemon, if it's not too much. You'll have to be more specific on opinions, though. I don't know what you mean, it feels vague. I wish that late night background in the pond to happen. I would have to do a recording. It would be a bit of setup for that, unfortunately. But I won't be able to get that done right now. But we'll see. We'll see. I guess I'm still very confused by what you mean by opinions. Yes, there is 151 Pokemon in Gen 1. I do believe that is confirmed. About each of them? There's so many. I'm back. Hello, Lyric. Welcome back. Welcome back. Even in one word or fewer. How do you do fewer than one words? I guess just not saying anything at all. 151 Pokemon for one generation. Yeah, there's well over 1,000 now. 10 generations. I believe Paldea was 10. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. ASMR Pokemon Smash. No. No, we're not doing that. No, absolutely not. I was not gonna do Pokemon Smash or Pass at all. Under no circumstances. That's just opening the doors to being put on a list. That's not happening. Patter swat. Oh my gosh. I can't really give an opinion on all of Gen 1 Pokemon because that would... I feel like there are many Pokemon where I just don't have an opinion. Like, I guess you could say Grimer, for example. Grimer and Muck are just blobs of sludge. What am I supposed to say about that? I guess there's not much to say, but... I know growing up I liked Charmander. I don't know. I just didn't like the other options. And I was probably a little biased since my first game was Red. And I know I always liked Articuno as one of my favorite legendaries. I think I still do to a little degree. Not as much. Nowadays. I feel like Vulpix is still kind of a deep down favorite Pokemon of mine. It's one of those where I thought I had outgrown it, and then one day I did a randomizer and found Vulpix as a starter, and the nostalgic warm fuzzy that I had for it before came back briefly. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't outgrow certain things. As Ice type in general. Ice type were unfortunately even today are very underwhelming. It's a little sad. Do I have a favorite shiny? I don't really have a lot of experience with shinies. I don't really focus on them. I don't know on that one. I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm a Bulbasaur person now. Yeah, Bulbasaur's pretty good too. I feel like I like both. I guess I didn't really have too much of an opinion on Squirtle for the longest time. And I guess I still don't. But Bulbasaur I feel like I've grown more closer to. I don't know, I feel like I've just kind of, as far as the 3 starters go, I'm very neutral. Trying to think what else. Well, I guess if I was to rate all 151 at once, 0 out of 10 because there's no deer. I'm kidding. They're all pretty good Pokemon, actually. They're all pretty good Pokemon. The first deer Pokemon didn't show up until Generation 2 with Stantler. I feel like the anime would have established some stuff. I did not care for watching anime. I know I've said before that I felt like I had outgrown it, but that's just my own personal feeling. And also, I feel like I was more strongly attached to Yu-Gi-Oh! Than Pokemon at the time. Deerling is cute, yes, but that was also a Generation 5 Pokemon. And so is Pumpkaboo, for that matter. No, wait. I think that's Gen 6, actually. That's Gen 6. My bad. Can you tell us more about your experience with Yu-Gi-Oh? Now that's a question I could probably go on about for a while. I mean, I can't go into specifics, but I've said before my childhood was not the best. And Yu-Gi-Oh was one of those few bright spots. I remember sneaking downstairs to watch TV quietly so that I could watch it without my parents getting upset because my mother especially was very much a how to explain it. Sorry, I'm distracted by a spider right under my light. It's a little one. He can take care of the mosquitoes that have been biting me lately. I would sneak around to watch Yu-Gi-Oh! In the morning because my mother was very much one of those, how do I explain it? She was definitely heavily influenced by the Satanic Panic happening around that time frame. but I feel like she didn't fully understand that I knew that it was fictional and wasn't really as influenced by the darker aspects of it. Despite how she felt, I guess. But for me, it was a comfort show. It was a comfort show. Watching... I remember watching the first episode that ever aired on TV. Right before I was supposed to go to a cheerleading competition. I was never a good cheerleader, by the way. It was one of those, like, I got kind of shoved into it. And when I was watching that right before a show, and that first episode always kind of hits pretty close to home, I guess, because of how I felt about seeing it for the first time. I would have gotten more involved with the cards if I wasn't so poor at the time, but honestly, I don't think I would have gotten anywhere competitively anyways. That was something I wanted to do when I was growing up, so I wanted to be a competitive player. But unfortunately, reality gets in the way of that. Gourdie the cheerleader. I was not a good cheerleader, and I didn't like it anyways. It was, you know how boys sometimes get pushed into football or baseball? That was me with cheerleading. I just didn't like it. I just kind of got pushed into it. That intro just sends a wave of nostalgia. Maybe I actually grew to not like the American intro. I prefer the Japanese ones. They're a lot more musical, if that makes sense. I don't know. I've grown more fond of the Japanese versions of it. Which one what? What? What do you mean? Opening? There's a couple of them. I don't really remember which is where. I know the Season 0 intro was also pretty good as well. I think I'm more specifically fond of the Season 0 and the first generation Duel Monsters series. Everything else I feel like didn't hit as strong, especially GX. I felt like GX was supposed to be targeted to people like me, but I was a misfit among my own people, so I just kinda it missed very hard. Unfortunately, I just never enjoyed it. If you would cosplay, would it be mired? I don't think I would be cosplaying as either. I'm going to be honest. If I were to cosplay as anything, it would probably be one of the Duel Monsters. I don't know which though. I don't know. I just don't have the confidence to be wearing flashy outfits like that. Gourdie 2. What do you mean? What do you mean? No, I would not. Stop. Are you implying I'm flat-chested? I'm sorry, what? Absolutely not. No. No. What do you mean, like my VTuber model? Like cosplaying? I don't think I can pull it off. Unfortunately. It's just not feasible. It's not feasible, unfortunately, but that's fine. I don't expect to be able to look as I do in real life. I guess if that makes sense. Your regular clothes are a bit like mine. Not necessarily, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'll be honest, I kind of... The clothes I'm normally wearing are definitely detailed more. But they're not really meant to be gardener's wear. None of the clothes I have are, except for maybe a couple outfits that I've gotten recently, but that's it. I need to be I need to find an outfit that's best suited for me. But we'll see. We'll see. Dark Magician. No, absolutely not. No. I don't like cosplaying at all. I barely have enough money to do VTuber stuff. What makes you think I have the money for cosplaying? Except the Yugi, I know. Alexis Road. Yeah. I know of some of the characters. I've played some of the games, but the anime just never intrigued me enough, I guess. It very much was catering to middle schoolers and high schoolers, and I was having such a bad time in school during that time. I just did not like it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I can't afford to cosplay even if I wanted to. Not effectively anyways. The problem with doing an ASMR calming experience for you guys is that it's making me sleepy too. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Honestly though, even though when I was younger I wanted to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitively, I think in reality I think I just enjoyed building decks. Random thematic decks. I remember there was a video from the You Laugh You Lose where I was reacting to a guy building a D&D character purely based on a joke, and it was not intended to be a good character. It was the goblin. It's the goblin one. I feel like a lot of my decks were like that too. Hello. Hello, Pudamels. Welcome. Mind Goblin? I think so, yeah. A lot of my decks were like that, where they were themed based off of a specific thing, but they weren't very good. I remember I made a horse deck. It barely functioned. I can't say the same about the penguin deck. That actually wound up being a surprising anti-meta during the elemental dragon craze. That was a much better, more functional deck. Unfortunately, these days, my favorite deck, Fairy Agents, they don't hold any water anymore in today's meta. And so it's kind of sad that I want to be able to use them, but I can't. Because they're just not fast enough compared to some of the things being run today. It really does feel like Konami built the game to cater to those who are willing to open their wallets to them. And it's kind of sad. I mean, I guess it was always like that, but it feels more so. It didn't impact gameplay before, but now it does. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Some people say, "Oh, it's always been like that." But when you're playing in a game where all of the cards are already available to you, and you can just build freely, it didn't feel like the game was pay to win in that regard. It just felt like, at the end of the day, it was a skill issue if you didn't build it right. These days, it feels like if you don't know exactly which cards you're to use, and you don't use the newest and the latest and the greatest, you just fall out. And it sucks. It's not the game I remember. Pretty Drop Spot agreed. I thought it was still banned. I think that's why Magic scratches that itch. I can't do it, Magic. It's not for me. I don't know. Sorry. I'm putting myself to sleep, apparently. Well, I don't want to go on for too much longer. I feel like the ASMR is maybe not doing. I don't know. I guess I'm just not confident enough about this right now. Maybe we'll go for another half hour and then we'll do something else for a bit, I think, maybe. You can print proxies for cards and just use those, maybe. I don't know, I just, I don't know, I just had more of a connection with Yu-Gi-Oh, but the game changed for the worst, so... Internet games, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. All I know is that I tried to put some anti-itch cream on me because the mosquitoes have been turning me into a buffet every time I go out to take care of the garden. So I'm trying my best not to mess with any of those bites, but it's a level of patience I haven't exercised very well. Oh my gosh. But there was actually I actually used to be a moderator for one of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Free-to-play games, actually. Briefly, for a time. I ended up not liking it. I feel like once one of the key members left the community, not by choice. A lot of things was happening in his life, but he was the only one really running the game. And he was also one of the nicer people. I think once he left, because of his life circumstances, the community fell apart. And I don't know. There was just something about that community I didn't really like 100% anyways. Something about it bothered me. It was all hunky-dory to have me around until I was a moderator and needed to enforce rules, and then I was the worst person in the world. So I didn't stay. Oh, early Gourdie adventures, and then the witch appears. In this case, I think the witch was a guy LARPing as Seto Kaiba. It was not fun. Sassy Ant Mod? Not really. It was just like trying to make a fair judgment on a game call based on the rules of the game, and because I didn't rule in one specific person's favor, that made me an awful person. So, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really enjoy the privileges of being a moderator, I guess you could say. But that's just kind of how it was. I don't know what other kind of... I really feel like I didn't do a lot with myself growing up, honestly. There was, I don't know, too much going on in my own life that I didn't do much. I wish I had more stories to share. There wasn't really much. Unfortunately. At least none that are things I can share anyways. Not much I can talk about, though. But it's been an interesting experience trying to do this ASMR. I'm going to be honest though, it's actually kind of restraining a little bit because I'm normally just very loud and obnoxious, and that's obviously not the goal of today. And so once before I go that much open with you on Twitch, and I don't know. It's fine though. I just kind of left. Yeah, I felt like, I don't know. I've always had a hard time staying with communities and making my own. I'm surprised anyone has stayed as long as they have. I've never really been successful with this sort of thing before. So it's, I guess you could say it's a bit of a challenge, I guess, for me. Because I never know when things will go foul. I just want to be more like myself, but I also know I'm not a good person either, you know? Like, sometimes you just gotta look yourself in the mirror very hard and just say, am I a good person? No, not really. Not really. And I think the important thing about that is acceptance. Like, you could say I'm not the worst person in the world, but I'm not a good person. But you know what? That's fine. That's fine. You just do what you can, I guess. And I don't know. I guess I was just rambling a little bit, sorry. Why am I making myself tired? I don't understand. I don't know. What then is not being a good person in your eyes, Gourdie? Well, if you're not good, then you are evil. Well, I mean, when you compare me to someone like, let's say I'm trying to think of a good example in the VTubing community. When you compare me to someone like Dokeeper, I guess you could say, where she's super charitable and super kind, I feel like I'm nowhere close to being a good person like her. I feel like I'm just a mischievous little gremlin. I'm that chaotic neutral. But there are definitely people who are far worse than me, for sure. Like, I don't go around trying to commit crimes all the time, especially in the name of, like, pretending to care about people, I guess. It's one of those where I do have the people I care about, and I show that. I try, anyways. But I also make it pretty clear that I can't care about everybody, either. Like, I've only got a limited... My patience, unfortunately, limits me pretty hard. There are just certain types of people I'm not as kind to, unfortunately. I try not to be, like, openly hostile or mean to them, but I don't go out of my way to be nice to them either, you know? I just kinda... The best thing I can do in that circumstance is just give them space. And let them live their life, I live mine. And it definitely gives off true neutral vibes. I guess so. You ain't EBD. Or EDP, that's for sure. Well, I hope not. I hope not. I'm certainly not that kind of person. You're just not a bad person, probably just a person. Maybe. Even Gourdie has his problems. Yeah. Yeah. I know in the VTubing community it's a lot more sensitive because of the way people are. I know a lot of people are very black and white minded, if that makes sense. Where things have to be a certain way or else. For me, I understand the gray area way better than most people, I feel like. Where, I mean, yeah, there's definitely bad and good, but you have to also understand that a lot of bad and good, you can't have the color gray without black and white melding. So, if you understand the gray area, the world makes more sense. It's still confusing, obviously, but understanding that gray area, I feel like, is key for a lot of people, but a lot of people have not grown up to understand that. And I'm a little worried about that. Maybe. So that don't make you a bad person, as you put it. Maybe not. I'm not going out there committing awful crimes, basically. That alone would make me not a bad person, I guess. Oh. Hello, little girl who plays. Thank you for the follow. Very interesting name. We're just yapping. Nice to meet you. Hello. We're just doing a bit of a quiet yapping. We were talking about like pop culture nerdisms, and I feel like we've devolved into I don't know what the word is, like socio-psychology or something like that. I don't know what the word is. They're talking about like the nuances of what makes someone a good person or a bad person. Yapping is pog, I enjoy it. Hello. I'd like to be a lawful evil person. I think a lot of people would. I think a lot of people would like to be, given the state of things right now. I would like to be more neutral, good. I don't really see a benefit in being lawful or evil, honestly. Or, well, I don't see any, I don't know, I feel like there are certain boundaries I don't like crossing because I feel like I'd be too pompous if I went one direction and actually cruel if I went another. I don't really like crossing those boundaries. I think altruism is the ability to put someone else before yourself. Maybe. I've tried doing that, but then I exhaust myself to the point where I feel like I've sacrificed too much and I leave myself with not a lot. And that's kind of where I feel like with trying to make friends in the VTubing community, where I tried to make some friends, people that I could chat with outside of streams, people I could do stuff with on, collabs in the future, but I feel like I put too much of myself out there and hurt myself because I guess I expected something that people weren't willing to put out there themselves. They say you really shouldn't have online friends, but my living circumstances don't really allow that. So I kind of am dependent on online friends. About the tangent I said earlier, it was one of the members of the Polish Godzilla site. I'm sure we've all had our moments where we made really awful stories that we wrote. I know I have a couple of my own, but I'm too scared to pull them out. You can't pour from an empty cup, Gourdie. You have to make some room for yourself. Yeah, a little bit. At the same time, I feel like there's a high level of expectancy for someone like me to be someone that I'm not. And it's difficult to pretend sometimes. And I pretend, I guess, in some cases out of fear and maybe because it's a social expectation too, but I think as time goes on, I become more tired of pretending. And I just try not to talk too much about it. But that's probably just me. Expectations of the crossroad to disappointment. Sadly, I know the lesson all too well. Yeah. Same boat as you. Pretty much all my friends are online. Yeah. Yeah. I know a lot of people don't like me that much. And I know, at least in real life anyways, there's... Oh god, sorry, my nose. I've just never been a social person in real life. I guess it's difficult for me to talk to people. I've not had a lot of good experiences with IRL socializing. But on the internet, people don't really care as long as you're not, like, causing problems for other people. Like, massive problems. If you're doing a little trolling, who cares, right? But I I don't think it's that big. It's not that big of a deal for me to socialize online. As one of these people that hope that we go for an internet, I wish I knew exactly what happened, but I don't press. Yeah. There's just a lot of stuff that I can't talk about, unfortunately. I understand perspective, Gourdie. Share a lot of the same experiences. Yeah, I try not to talk to. I didn't mean to talk about myself so much. I'm sorry. There's unfortunately not much for me to talk about without saying too much, but I do feel like there is a definitely a bridge I missed somewhere along the way, and a lot of opportunities are closed to me as a result. But that's kind of how it goes, huh? Except some entitled people that sometimes appear. I mean, there's always going to be some untitled people here and there, and that's just kind of how it is, right? Oh. I heard sounds and I went to go look. It's just my cat eating her food. Probably playing with it, actually. I do have to follow on Twitter, too. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I know I'm not very good at staying consistent on Twitter as far as, like, constantly posting. I don't live on Twitter. Some could debate I live on Discord, but that's a different story. I feel like in that regard it's because I'm managing the communities, so I kind of need to be there. I mean, these are Vtuber stuff, yeah. Sometimes I worry when I make comments about like games and such, or even technology, because despite being a gardener VTuber, you know, there's 2 seasons in the year that I can't garden, so what better way to entertain myself than by learning about new tech and whatnot. So I tend to be a bit on the tech savvy side. I feel like maybe it's a bit jarring for people like me to talk about the things I know, or sharing memes really that I think are amusing but are maybe not well understood by most people. Could just be me though, but it's one of those where I really should stick to being, I guess, in character, but how in character do you have to be before it feels fake, right? I would take Gourdie's time there, dude. I should go first. Jeez. Part of what drew me to your channel was your name. I'm also into gardening. Currently I'm working on with some roses and orchids. You have more of a flower garden. I'm more of a crop garden person, I guess you could say. I do have wild roses in my yard, but they're not growing there because I put them there. I think the previous owner of this property planted them there, and they just kind of grow wild. They're not very big, but they're there. I mean, cucumbers last season for pickling. I'm actually not a fan of pickles, but I do like cucumbers. I'll actually slice them up and I'll just dip them in a bit of bacon ranch dressing. That's actually quite good. I recommend that. The main reason why I ever decided to write on the Twitch was that real Gourdie exactly. I know a lot of people. I know I did that weird vote with whether I should change my name or not. Actually, I thought about the name change because I know there's another Gourdie VTuber just called The Gourdie, and I guess I'm worried that I'm gonna be accused of like trying to ride off of his coattails, when in reality I've never really needed his help for anything. It was fun to hang out with his community until his girlfriend got, I don't know, sensitive about my presence. I think she thinks that I'm trying to copy him. I don't know, maybe not. It's I don't know. I just don't interact with him as much as I could. Nah, for the most part, I don't think he cares anyways, so whatever. Me too. I like cooks more than pickles when it comes down to preservation and canning. Pickling is kind of important for that part, maybe. These don't really change it. Yeah. I feel like my name is just long, though. If that makes sense. It took me 12 minutes to put my mind in the right place to start writing for the first time here, to be honest. 12 minutes is pretty quick, actually. I've gone days without barely knowing what to say or do with people. Days and weeks sometimes. It's hard to really open up to people that you're not sure of sometimes. And when I started streaming, I had a hard time really talking as well. But I feel a lot more confident with it now. And it's mostly just a challenge of making sure I don't say the wrong thing. Not that I'm really scared of being canceled now that it's, you know. But, you know, you just have to watch what you're saying, mostly just because you don't want to deal with the drama. I think that's something I still have to watch for. Because I tend to just say what's on my mind sometimes, and I can't do that. I can't do that all the time. Part of streaming in general is the vulnerable and position to put yourself in as a streamer. Yeah. I still struggle with stage fright sometimes too. Yeah. At least as a VTuber, you don't have to worry too much about how you physically appear. You mostly just have to make sure... you just mostly have to make sure that you're kind of yourself, I guess. Well, as some people tend to be a bit whole act. And that's fine. Like, if they want to pull a character up, but... I went into this knowing I wasn't a good actress, so... I wanted to kind of keep things close to the type of person I am, I guess. So that I didn't have to do too much hoop jumping. It's really just me as an elf. I mean, that's fair. There's a lot of people that do that. I know in the VTubing scene, a lot of people just, there's definitely a... I don't know. How do I explain? There's definitely those who are professional actors and actresses, and then you have... and then you have me. You get into a random game and... You're stuck playing a game called I Am Bread while looking like a bread, and you have to deal with someone using interaction of Kirby eating you as a slice of bread. How do you and I'm just freaking the fuck out while my mind is already gone. Sorry, I tried not to laugh too loud. There's a lot of fun times and chaos that can happen, but you know, I think even now I still don't fully understand who I am, but I feel more confident about who I am at the moment. I don't know. It's just it takes time to grow out of certain feelings, I guess, especially when you live in a cage. People go their whole lives without ever knowing who they really are, only who society wants them to be. Hello. Hi, Potato. Welcome, welcome. I'm doing a bit of a quieter ASMR stream today. It's more of a just quieter Gourdie, really. Talking about life and altruism and stuff. We're nerding out a little bit, but I think we've moved on from that a little. For now, anyways. Yo, ASMR. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to do ASMR, but I'm not the random noise type of person. I don't like whispering either. So I'm just a lot quieter today. Yeah. I did owe this as part of my sub goal after all, so it had to get done eventually. And I put quite a bit of thought into a bunch of different things, like, I probably should have put more thought into the music, honestly, but I didn't. I just saw, oh hey, sad lo-fi playlist, done. Yeah. But the background I definitely I definitely put a lot of time into, for certain. I wanted to make sure that that there was at least some level of thought put into it. That matters. I'm gonna do good ambience helps with the stage, yeah. Normally it's a lot less scenic, I guess you could say, normally. The booba window. Of course you're distracted by that, of course, potato. It's beautiful, yeah. I can't take all the credit, you know. As I said before, the game I used for the background is called Tiny Glade. It's I had to build my own stuff to make it look nice, but otherwise I can't really thank you for the tithe, by the way. I can't really do a lot with I can't do a lot with it because it's not mine to mess with too much. And I just kind of pre-record some backgrounds. And there you go. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, by the way. I didn't even notice I was more into the cute wiggly ears and the flower antlers. Wait, which? Still wish Gourdie at the ASMR. In the ASMR portion, just take a few metal items and drop them on the ground. Sorry, I tried to laugh too loud. THX in full in action. I actually have my mic nerfed way down right now to suppress my voice a little. Just a little bit. You didn't even notice I was more into the cute wiggly ears and the flower antlers? Okay, no, I'm caught up now. Sorry, I was reading the chat. The more you yap, the more you sip. I know, I gotta sip here, hang on. Sorry. I was trying to not spill on myself. It's so calming. That's good. That's good. That's the point. I just wanted it to be a calming time today. Maybe just talk about either nerdisms or otherwise. Unfortunately, to get the calm environment, I had to disable a lot of stuff, but I'll re-enable that for tomorrow. Or even later today if I keep streaming. I might not want to stay as an ASMR stream for today. I wanted to at least get a few hours in at least. Just to be like, yeah, I did it. Now I want to go back to being a chaotic gremlin. Deer takes a drink. Listen. I'm trying to not lose myself here. And no matter what category you end up being in, just know that I had a nice time meeting you, and I hope that your day gets better. Thank you. My day's been okay. I'm just a little sleepy. I'm making myself tired, but I hope your day's been going well, LGP. And I hope you have a good day if you're taking off your EP. Yeah. It's a good idea to get some sleep then. Definitely have to take care of yourself. Oh, you're talking about me, my bad. No, this is real, try not to laugh. Shh. You, the deer, took a sip, oh lord, oh gosh, stop. Oh my god. It was supposed to be a calming day today, not a sexual one. If Saints Row gameplay, then second or third? What? What is that question? I don't understand it. Nicole, make Gourdie laugh. No, stop. Shh. Not right now. I think you just need to maybe re-ask the question about Gromky. Gourdie, the physics, the model, and the move. The hair looks good. Stop. Jeez. And if you're going to play Saints Row, if it will be the second or third. Do you mean like for the AAA gaming that I owe still? Or do you just mean based on the game I mentioned earlier? No, just for the future. The first game is not publicly available legally outside of Xbox, to my understanding. For whatever reason, they never transferred it off the Xbox, and Microsoft is holding on to that title very tightly. So I only have access to the second game. Technically the third and fourth too, but the fourth one, Epic Games got a hold of it and started forcing the launcher on it. I don't know if they ever backpedaled on that. But I have played games 2, 3, 4, and Gat Out of Hell. They're all okay games. I like the second one the most, though. I would like to be able to play the first one, but I don't think I'll be able to do so without sailing anyways. But it is what it is. Oh my gosh, Arska. I gotta say that the window looks good. The window from behind it. Oh my gosh. Totally not the booba window, jeez. I don't like the fourth myself. I feel like the fourth was a repetitive version of the third one. But it did some things different. I don't know. I think they were just struggling to make the game to... they couldn't maintain their serious aspect after GTA got a hold of it. Oh no. Oh. One sec. Give me one moment, I'll be right back. I need to fix that. I can't exactly do that right now, hang on. I have to disappear for a moment. This... Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Thank you for the flower. It's okay. No, it's alright. I didn't want to ruin the immersion is all by opening up menus. Fourth GTA game. I'm not sure if it was the I know the Rockstar had definitely had an issue with Saints Row existing. So Saints Row had to turn itself into a comedy rather than, you know, what it was being. And I feel like Saints Row 2 was like one game that did it best. I thought about potentially getting the reboot of Saints Row because I feel like it would be interesting to see how far Volition really fell before the end, but at the same time I really need to let the Sprouts decide that bad AAA game for me. And I need to do it before the Steam sale ends too, so I'm not wasting a ton of money on it. They're just cool. It's not too obnoxious, no. But it was definitely goofier. It was goofier than I would have preferred. Fourth was Clown College for me. Yeah, I feel like Gat Out of Hell was similar in that way. It felt very watered down. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be a DLC for the fourth game, but it didn't come out in time to be that. So it just became its own side game. I played Innocence Row type games. Yeah, it definitely takes a specific... It's not really for everybody, I guess you could say, but... I mean, if you've played GTA-esque games before, it probably won't be that bad. I see Potatoes enjoying himself a little too much there. Oh my gosh. Anyways, here, let me back up. I want to show you the whole outfit here. Because I tried to think my outfit out a little bit for today, but it's meant to be meant for the fall, but you know, hold on, let me back up. That my focus isn't on just my legs, even though there's nothing here, right? Don't ask why my arms are glowing, it's, or my feet. It's hard to say why that's happening. But yeah. Something like that. What do you mean, cock? There's no cock, what are you talking about? Yo? What do you mean, yo? Are you too cold for autumn like that? Maybe. But I don't really have good pants, so this is what I've got to work with. I guess it's a good thing that I'm part deer, huh? So anyways. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, showing off too much anyways, in a certain way, but yeah. Maybe not too close. That's true. New things? Oh my gosh, potato. I like wearing leggings on the skirts when it's cool outside. I probably should try to find a way to make makeshift leggings for myself for this outfit, but I'm not sure how I'd go about it, so much easier said than done, basically. Tier theme stockings. I wish that was an option. I don't know if it is or not. I'd have to play with settings. Let's become a Furby. What the hell? Should make deep fried emote with glowing eyes. Oh no. I'm gonna be honest though, I've got a couple of ideas brewing for more of a Halloween setting. I don't know I'm gonna go about implementing it, but I've got a couple ideas. I just need to know how I want to go about doing it though. We'll see. We'll see. Sorry. A little tired. Definitely make sure to get good sleep tonight, wherever you are, because you don't want to be like me, locked in a vicious addiction cycle with one game that I've been playing lately, and not getting enough sleep. As it is, I already found myself sleeping almost the entirety of a single day because I was so tired. Not because of one game, though. I think that was just a build-up throughout the week, where I was just not getting enough sleep over time, and I just got tired. And didn't want to wake up all day. Sorry. It's Gourdie right now. Maybe not. It's, maybe not. I don't feel like it's time for bed. I am sleepy, though. There's the floating matchbox. You mean the little glowing thing over here to the side? That's supposed to be a firefly, yeah. It's I know it's not the most appealing looking firefly, but that's what it is supposed to be. I feared fireflies were going to be extinct this generation. I don't think so. They're doing well where I live anyways. But the developments for housing and whatnot is getting out of control. Especially here in the States. I feel like if there's one thing that could really benefit wildlife, it would be implementing legal legislation to prevent more buildings from developing on wildlife land. And just start reusing plots that are empty in the city itself. Because there's plenty of empty lots to use, they just won't use it. And I don't know why. But I think the best way to keep things like the fireflies becoming a problem. The fireflies' lifespan a problem is to just limit how much can be built out in the rural areas. In a suburban area, I can imagine the fireflies having a hard time. The best thing you could do in a suburban area is just make sure they have a place that they can hide in. Like, even if it's just some shrubbery. Just give them a shaded place to exist in. And then make sure you have at least let your grass grow a little bit. They depend on the long grass. And shrubbery. Yeah, something like that. Too busy cooning. Full dress Gourdie. I did have a full dress. I turned it off because I didn't like how it looked, and people were saying it made me look old, so I stopped using it. Lose your eyes if you have 10 million fireflies. What? No, but I don't think fireflies will go extinct is what I'm trying to say, I guess. They might be hard pressed to continue in certain areas, but I think in areas that were in rural areas they'll still be fine. City fireflies. And I will rebel. Oh my gosh. Wait, what happened? Wait, what are we rebelling over? Can we see the trip, please? What do you mean my trip? I guess the other Gunner and just what the I would have to remake the dress again, which I don't really I don't have that available to me right now. It would take several minutes of me being off screen to fix it. I don't think I could fix that easily right now, unfortunately. It's one of those where when I replaced the full dress, I replaced it with this. So I would have to remake the whole thing. Which, to make it work, I'd have to restart certain pieces of software to make that work. Unfortunately. Oh my gosh, you guys. Some things never change with you guys. Okay. Alright, hold on. I really shouldn't do this, but I might be able to... Where is it? 2, 3, 4... Did her experiencing just her fashion to be more stylish? Oh my gosh. Alright. Hold on. I can mess with this a little bit, but I need to disappear for a moment, so I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Just a moment. I will be nearby, though, so... I just need to do a bit of a brief restart. The mini skirt. Jeez. No, jeez. Sorry. I had to restart. Oh great, I have to fix a couple settings here as well. Sorry, a bit of scuff. Scuff for the scuff gods, as they say. Give me 1 second here. Oh. Sorry, I'll be just a tiny bit here while I fix this. It won't take that long, actually. Set this up. I just gotta do it. One moment. I apologize. Oh, I was wondering why. Not co-op. There we go. Okay. I'm coming back, I'm sorry. Hello, sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. Scuff is an ASMR trigger for me. Sorry. Hey. Anyways, I believe what you were talking about was this. Potentially. Hopefully this works. It kinda worked. Hang on. There you go. This is what you meant. Like I said, it wouldn't take too long to set up, but it did take a bit to set up. I meant for this one to be for special occasions, though. Like for the potentially karaoke. Sorry. I love the dress. Yeah, it's more of a one-piece dress, but yeah. Whereas the other one was just a skirt and sweater. Look at them hips. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am ready to convert. What do you mean you're ready to convert? Alright, hold on. We're going back to the other one. Sorry, it's just a little too cold to be wearing that right now. It is chilly at night still. T-dub. Oh my gosh. You guys need to relax. You need to relax. Oh my gosh. More importantly, don't let Odin catch you acting that way. Oh my gosh. Yeah, miniskirt is better. Yeah, I feel like the bigger dress, the green dress has a place. It's just not today. Oh my gosh. That would be someone who sometimes visits the oh my gosh. You could say he's a member of the community, so to speak. Know my story. Yeah. Jeez, potato. We have a lot of inside jokes here. It's sometimes it gets confusing. Another kind of no worries. Yeah, well, some people like the outfit, so I just try to set it up to look nice, and how far people take that is outside of my control, unfortunately. I get absolutely nothing. Our Arx is just gone. Gourdie made me want to go to Japan? Why Japan? Jeez. Both because of Gourdie? What do you mean? Oh, the second time potatoes. The first time was because I didn't realize it was a deervikin. And this time it's just because Potatoes being a bit of a pervert over there. I'm trying not to laugh too loudly, god damn it. Oh my gosh. And I don't understand my friends also treat it the same way. I try not to make too much of a deal about it, because, you know, jokes are jokes and men are gonna be men. It's just kind of how it is. There are obvious boundaries, of course, but I don't think anybody's really crossed those boundaries today, so that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. I think the only one that came close was the random guy who showed up earlier today and was like, hey, I like to kill deer. And I'm like, cool, anyways. Have fun. Just for clearance, I am joking. He might give you a hard time. I don't think he'd smite you, though. I don't know. I think he knows you enough to know that you joke. So, I don't think it's that big a deal. Going too much. I like smell of your antlers. I don't know if that would be too far. I think too far is his stummy's hurt. I hate cramps. Oh no. Oh, I hope you feel better soon. All mine are jokes. Jeez. I think the only couple of times people have actually crossed the line as far as like being inappropriate with me was hilariously both times were on Kick. And they were enacting they were trying to live out fantasies, I guess, in my chat for some reason. I won't go into details, but yeah, it was I had to censor them during one of my reactions, basically, because it went too far. Censor past units, chose. Like I said, it's pretty obvious that people are making jokes here. But yeah, there is definitely a line where people do go too far. You guys say that, but then you're going out of your way to make me laugh. Never been on Kick, not a fan of their policies myself. Streaming on there wasn't terrible, in my opinion. Basically, as a VTuber, as long as I stayed in the VTuber category, I was usually okay with that. Or rather, there was no problems. It's just sometimes there'd be people who were, for lack of better words, refer to them as ultra perverts, who didn't know how to restrain themselves. So that, and there was a lot of bot raiding that happened, so I had a hard time staying on Kick. I want to grow over there some more as like a backup in case Twitch does end up getting shut down. But the way things are going, I don't know if that's going to be possible. None of those guys don't ever approach me. Thankfully, it was only a handful. I can count them all in one hand. But still. I know a few niches benefits to a name like me. Yeah. I mean, your name can definitely be interpreted strangely, but I don't... Listen, good. Oh my gosh. What do you mean made me laugh at least? It's not that I'm not trying. It's mostly that I'm trying to avoid laughing out too loud. Right? I'm trying to be more quiet today. Although to be honest, I feel like I'm actually hurting my voice being this quiet. I feel like I feel like maybe chill, Gourdie. I'm trying. I'm not sure if I should keep going as ASMR Gourdie or if I should normalize a little. And that makes the ASMR easier. No, no, you're not. No, you are not. Do you think ASMR not safe? Oh, I do have 18 plus, but I don't have like the sexual part marked, which, you know, I'm not supposed to be doing any of that anyways right now, so. Isn't what I usually see as ASMR though, but gentle talk is nice. Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking to myself, what's the most ASMR thing I can do? And I'm like, well, talking calmly. That's really all I can think of doing. Because I'm normally so loud and obnoxious. A lot of people like to bridge the ASMR stuff and the lewd stuff. Yeah, I am trying to avoid it if possible. But, you know, I know people are gonna think and feel how they think and feel, but like I said, as long as you're like keeping the more extreme fetishes and fantasies to yourself, I don't really care if you're joking about being a gooner. It's like one of the more lighthearted ways of expressing that, I guess you could say. It's just funny to me, I guess, if that makes sense. It doesn't. Yeah, I'm just not into that is all. Yeah, unfortunately this means I won't get a lot of support, but to be honest, I feel like I got a taste of that kind of audience and I'm not sure I want that kind of audience. So unfortunately I will likely be very obscure because I don't lean into certain thresholds or themes, I guess. I don't know why I said thresholds. Oh my gosh, potato. We all have fantasies. True. And I don't fault anybody for having their fantasies or being degenerates, but you know, socially you shouldn't be like so open about certain types of fantasies, I guess. And I feel like on Kick people just had no restraint on that. So you guys are at least you know, within what I would consider acceptable anyways. You joke, you don't take it too seriously. And it's all in good fun anyways. Mice. Potato, don't you have like 3 cats in your house? Why are the cats not dealing with the mice? Thank God it's a wireless. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my god, you guys, alright. Sorry. The contrast of Potato being a pervert and Arxa just being like, what the heck? He dad man, we just send it on now. And your cat hasn't tried to steal your mouse, your computer mouse once? I know mine has a few times now. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to stay serious at this rate. Born to go, no. Yeah, I bet the cat stole it from you. Or tried anyways. I think these days my cat is a little on the lazy side. She doesn't like doing stuff like that anymore. And so I am. Oh jeez. My cat is behind me laying on the pile of blankets. She's sleepy. She's a happy kitty. Sorry. Sorry. That's the cat's name, Samantha, but I just call her Sam. Or Sammy. I was making sure she didn't wake up when I said that. She's good and sleepy, though. For some reason, the scene makes me wonder if Gourdie could do owl hoots. Not really. Not really. Again, I don't know about right now, but I'll give her some later. Oh my gosh. Potato, really? Sorry. Try not to laugh too loudly. You guys get really funny sometimes, though. There we go. That is a real story, by the way. I was playing a horror game and got spooked. And it scared, and I guess I was loud enough to scare Potato, which made his cat on his lap jump. And the cat just had an instant accident as a result. Oh, poor Arxa, he's just trying to exist. Oh my gosh, you guys. Alright, alright. So, I'm trying to think here. Living here making me feel one. Oh my gosh. I feel like we've been going at it for almost 3 hours now. I think maybe Gundy's returned. What I would like to do, you guys, I would like to keep streaming, but maybe not as ASMR. I want to go back to being a little bit on the loud side. It's actually starting to hurt my throat to talk this quietly for so long. I have to actually force myself to be quiet. It's actually kind of straining my voice a little bit. Goodness, near liars. What in the hell is going on? We can do normal finale, maybe. I did actually record a couple of scenes for nighttime. I think I can just keep it, but